Yeah, yeah. All right, we're good to go. You can hold on. Let me just send this. All right, you the intro man. Janine's
We
hype.
live.
She'll
All right,
probably.
yo. So it's been a damn minute. Welcome, y'all. The after party. It's been a minute. I think the last show we did was sometime in November.
It was no. It was before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
It was before Thanksgiving. I won't get too much into some shit, but it was all. I fell into some medical things. Had a retinal detachment surgery, all that. Went through it. We tried to get back a few times, and time didn't work out, but we're back. The after party. We were doing a breakdown on like Wu Tang and the affiliates and all that shit. But today, I don't know what episode it is. I know we're just rocking. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk the year in hip hop 2025. We're you know tail end of January, but we're still gonna rock. Talk about this whole hip hop is dead. Apparently, hip hop the term and the topic of hip hop is dead is coming up again. I really don't know why, but we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, just chop it up and see what's going on, man. Good to be back and doing our thing. So yeah, I mean, jump into whatever. I mean, I just figured since we hadn't spoken in a while on the show that just chop it up. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
see what's going on. We didn't even talk. I mean, a lot of things. Not it's December, January. I mean, yeah, it's 2 months, a little more. So
I mean, a lot hip hop, non hip hop, political, non political, a bunch of shit has happened.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
The
First and foremost, I hope everyone, I know everyone has moved on, but I hope everyone had a good Christmas, good Thanksgiving, all that good stuff. Closed out the year well, started off the year well. I'm trying to be positive on everything that's been happening, at least to me. I'm not gonna sit
yeah,
here and talk about it, but um, yeah, man, I know you did your top joints for 2025.
yeah. I did some top projects. I did top projects. Well, I did my top project. I did my top artist for both runner and runner up for both of those, and then I did some. Highlighted some really good projects that I thought were really good. And I said it. I always had the disclaimer that it was based on what I heard. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear everything.
Yeah.
But it was interesting that, for me, some of the top artists this year were it's dope. I mean, were ladies. Um, like Cream Heroine's album was one of my top albums. Ty Phoenix's album was one of my top albums. Nesman Nefertiti put out a bar tape near the end of the year that was just like just spitting. So I thought the ladies really held it down.
Ladies definitely held it down this last year.
Yeah, in contrast to the my pussy pink and booty hole brown music, um, yeah, I really thought Ty Phoenix and Heroin's albums were really fucking good, and so yeah, so I had some fun with it. It was fun. I mean, um, again, again, it was just based on what I heard though, and what I really realized after doing that list, seeing other people's lists made me like realize there's so much music that I can't hear. So much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. It puts things into perspective, right? And I know I stopped doing my favorites. One, because whatever, I got lazy, but two, because I always had people like, how didn't you have so and so? And it's like, yo, I don't I got a job, I got a life. It's not like I can listen. I'm not a journalist. I'm not working for the source. It's like I can't get to everything. If it was hard enough back then when the source was out, rap pages, all that. If it was hard back then, it's harder now because people can push their own shit. Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Pandora, whatever the fuck else, Spotify. You can drop your own shit and kind of quote unquote fly under the radar. I'll find it 5, 6, 10 years later.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just the way it is. Did you you had Heroin's album as your top album, right? that you had heard? That's
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what you had. Yeah, I had it as runner up, but yeah, that's what you had. I mean, that was a really good
You,
project, man.
you know everything. I feel like I do. I talk about it too much, and I don't want people to think like, oh, you got paid to talk about it or whatever. But everything from the content, there's a message behind it. It's a concept album. If I don't know if it was, would you categorize it under a concept album?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Um, and it's not just a fun concept album, right? It's not like a Prince Among Thieves or a Deltron, right? It makes you think. It makes you cope. It makes you it makes you embrace to some extent demons,
yeah,
right? It's an important project. On top of that, and I know you love it, and I love it too, but it's like that rawness that she still keeps and still delivering a message, but keeping it raw
yeah,
beats and delivery.
crazy,
There's no way I could have not had that in my top. My
crazy.
I would say my top five of 2025.
She had some, good, well placed features on there as well.
Yeah,
Very good project. I mean, none better than very good. I mean, it's my top two projects of the year. So, um, I also thought. I mean, if we're just looking at last year,
oh yeah, yeah.
I also thought that I made this statement last. I don't know how much you listened to last year, but I made this statement that I thought that last year was a good year musically in hip hop. I mean, from veterans to just again based on what I heard from veterans to new people and stuff. I just thought it was just thought the quality of music was good. Was
Bro, what Mass Appeal, and we can get into it. What Mass Appeal did, releasing the five or six albums for certified legends, right, from De
legends.
La to Mobb
Yeah,
Deep to Ghostface, Raekwon. Um, that alone, let's say nothing else came out to me, that alone 2025, because it was spaced out, was solidified as a good year. But the legends dropped some good shit. Independent artists dropped some good shit. There was some good, little beefs or battles. Graffiti was taken to another level. I saw some pretty dope graffiti shit this past year. I screenshot a lot of shit thinking I'm gonna repost it, and I never do. Um, but yeah, 2025. I felt like that. I don't know if it was 2016 or 17 where I felt that way. I should have done my research, but one of those 2 years I thought was like, damn, okay. To me, hip hop never died. Right? I think you're the one that posted where you said hip hop never died. You just stopped paying attention,
right.
or something to that effect. And it's
Yeah, you
true
tuned
because people
out.
say like there's a Facebook page that I follow, and I hope it doesn't go left because I follow two or three other ones that started off really good and then all of a sudden they fell off. But
Okay.
this one says like hip hop 1973 to the 2000s, and that's a lot of good music. But then I tried to post something post 2000s and the admins weren't letting me. And I responded, I'm like, yo, why does it stop at 2000? There's a lot of good shit. And it kind of reminded me of what you said, right? You went off grid right before, a little bit before that, right?
Like around in the 2000s, early 2000s,
Oh,
like
okay,
2000.
2000, so 2000.
Yeah,
I
2002
stand
ish.
corrected.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like to me,
I mean,
I've
but
been
I
wanting to
I
do.
went off grid then, but I stopped. I definitely made like an effort to not really listen to new shit though. I mean, as far as so yeah,
I think we all did, right? I mean, I can't say like, yeah, I was always like, nah, dude. To me, what breathed life back into hip hop was one Ruckus, and then later down the line, Def Jux,
Hmm.
a bunch of other stuff. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, I heard Def Jux right when it came out because I didn't. I didn't hear I don't know, like an Adams Family in '96 or '97 when it came out. I heard it 2000, so a lot of that stuff just kind of re-emerged with me, or I heard it for the first time.
Right.
But yeah, man, hip hop never really died. Some might even go back in history and might see a post that I did in Facebook and I might have said hip hop is dead. But like I can sit here and I've been wanting to do, I don't know how we're gonna do it or how I'm gonna do it, but I wanted to do kind of like an under the radar. per year, or maybe even start at the 2000s. Because to me, the last 26 years, because a lot of people do like a standpoint, 2000s, anything after that sucks. Not acknowledging like, yo, Mad Villain, All Natural, whatever, you know. So I wanna shed light on those albums because every year post 2000 has at least I'll even put money on this. Has at least five good joints. Is it the 90s? Is it the 80s? Absolutely not. We're talking hip hop is in another platform. You got dudes go, in the underground. But to me, hip hop never died. B boys, graph writers. We talked about this, man. I feel if we hip hop culture. I'm not talking about rap music. Hip hop culture. If hip hop died or was in a coma, let's say hip hop was in a coma, I would say it would have been. Let me finish my sentence before you react. Late 80s, and not music wise. I'm talking about not like mid 80s, right? Because we know Crazy Legs. Everybody said like at some point the b boy shit was played out. Actually, that's early 80s, huh? 84 when
84,
yeah
84.
yeah. So hip hop was in a coma. I can't say it was dead because the music was still pop. Music actually was popping more than anything else. But if there's a time where hip hop was kind of like at a was that time. Other than that, we really can't say hip hop is dead because now your DJs are in their own lane. Sad, but they're in their own lane. The B boys, their own lane. Well, you've said it continuously when we talk about this. Graph bombers, writers, vandals, they've always been in their own lane. But all that shit, it's still alive. Why people say hip hop is dead? One, they focus just on the music. Two, just on the music that they access and refuse to listen to shit.
Yeah, I mean, they're also focusing. Everyone I've seen talk about this is talking entirely about commercial rap. Everybody. There's no one that I've spoken, not since I've spoken to, that I've heard on the internet or whatever that is talking about hip hop culture. These people, what bothers me with this whole thing is that the people that are speaking don't even really seem to be connected to this shit. And two, it seems like no, it doesn't seem like they're only talking about commercial rap music. And so that right there alone disqualifies the whole thing because you're just talking about commercial rap. So then to me, you're shitting on and slapping the artists in the face. All of the dope artists right now who make really good music that are either older or just newer cats. You know what I'm saying? And that's what pisses me off. Just when you're talking about the music, like if you just look at the music alone, and I always say people just are just lazy and they're used to being spoon fed. And look, like you want it to be like you're just talking again. They're just talking about the commercial shit, and that's what bothers me. And then secondly, if we're talking about the culture, and I have a post plan for this tomorrow because this has really been annoying me. All of this has been annoying me. I hate hearing shit like this. One, because I was that dude, and I realized that was a fucking stupid ass perspective to have. You know what I'm saying? And ill informed, ill advised, and ignorant. So I can't speak on this shit because I was that dude. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what pisses me off so much because like the perspective is ignorant as fuck. But when you look at the culture, bottom line, bro, hip hop can't be dead because if it were dead, it would indicate that hip hop is nothing more than a fad or a trend, and we know it's not that. Hip hop is a culture, and it fits all the categories, all the criteria of what a culture is. So yeah, is rap music
Well
fucked
said.
up? And there's a lot of shit that's fucked up in rap music, and is it sad that the elements aren't all like together and this, that, and the third? Yeah, but it's impossible that hip hop is dead because then it would just be simply a fad, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. So
True.
you
I
know,
100% agree with that statement. That's very well said.
there's no way possible that it can be dead. You can say commercial rap music is trash now, and the hits aren't on the radio. Yeah, that's true. And you can say again, but you can't. But again, most of these people, man, when they say this shit, they're not even thinking about hip hop culture though. They're not thinking about which when we segue. I gotta because there's something I want to talk about this culture shit. But
Okay.
there's nothing. I mean, they're not they're not talking about it. So I mean, in essence, I'm getting pissed about nothing because I'm like these people aren't even worth the time. But that's what's bothering me, man. This shit irritating as fuck, bro.
But it is though, right? Because you have we work hard. Actually, I can't even put myself in there because I've gotten away from posting and doing everything. I mean, you do a good job and put a lot of effort in not only posting old stuff, reminding people like, yeah, this is where I come from, this is what I listen to, this is the dope shit, but getting the time to listen to the new artists that reach out to you. I acknowledge the fact that you're not just gonna listen to anybody. You're not gonna post something just because someone pays you a good amount of money. It has to be dope. You said it on your last post about like email submissions. If it's dope, you'll know. We'll let you. It'll be out, right? If it's not, you're and that's your answer, right? That's what I took from your post,
Yeah.
and it's true. But taking the time to push that out there, I haven't been able to do that, right? So I appreciate you. I forgot what I was to say. I appreciate you doing that because without that, where are we at?
I mean, yo, you always are more negative about yourself than you should be. I mean, like, oh, I haven't done it. I mean, you do the exact same thing. I mean, like, and that's why we have this show, and that's why you have your platform, and that's why you are who you are, in terms of how you deal with this shit. Whether you're actively doing it because you're, dealing with medical shit or not is a different story. I mean, so it's not even about that. It's just it's about intention, yo. In the end, everything's about intention. Like, it's it's like it's like all right, if you take two people and they say they're hip hop heads, right?
Yeah.
And then one person says, well, one, and then you ask one person any question or any bring up the three elements other than rap, and one person either the first person looks at you either with deer in the headlights, or they don't give a fuck, or they just want to focus on rap, and then the second person is may have more of a focus on rap, but they respect graffiti. They respect DJing. Oh, like, oh, I remember like the day that group. What's that group? The Executioners. They respect it. They understand it, and they don't disrespect it. And that right there alone, you know what I'm saying, is to me that's what matters, yo. Like I always say, if you call yourself a hip hop head and you don't have a like at least a rudimentary understanding or desire to understand anything about the other three elements other than rap or just an appreciation for them, I'm looking at you kind of sideways. You know what I'm saying? So in the end, I think it's about intention. You know, in terms of just how we view this shit. You know, like for instance, I posted some graph shit on the page one time, and somebody came on and was like, why are you posting this writing on walls or something?
I had the same shit.
Huh? What? This is, like, nah, man, you don't get it then. Like, you don't get it that this is bigger than your music, right?
Yeah.
This is what we do. And so, I think though, and that's what just really gets under my skin about all this shit though, is because the people speaking aren't really connected to this shit with their hearts. I'm not saying people aren't making me. It's not about what you're doing to me. It's about where your heart is and how you feel about this shit. And so if you're just if you're just about the rap music, I don't know, man. It's your heart ain't there to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to be an expert, but your heart ain't there, man. So you know, I just but again, they're not even talking about the culture though. They're not even talking about like the fashion, sneakers, the style, the language, none of that shit. I mean, all of the things that
Far
make
from it.
culture, they're not
Yeah.
discussing.
That's what I was gonna say earlier when I said I forgot what I was saying because you said like, the people that you giving the time to people that don't matter, but to me that's why I was like, well, they kind of do matter, right? Because that's why I was going with it when I said, someone like you, or let's say someone like people like us that we take a lot of time, make sure that we present you not only nice, crisp, still raw, but make sure that it's correct. That's why I was doing like the on this date or whatever.
Yeah,
But we take it isn't just like, oh, today I think I'm gonna do this. Like, nah, like this takes 2, 3, 4, 5 days, or there's stuff stashed in your phone. Like, all right, I'm gonna put this because you're thinking of what you're gonna put on social media to represent the culture.
well,
So
fact.
when someone that's surface level or someone that doesn't know and shits on it, not dissing it, but just yeah, hip hop. Oh, but this other shit doesn't matter. It's a slap to the face to people like us, to hip hop heads. Again, like you said, you don't have to be a fucking nerd like me. I'm a nerd when it comes to it. I love it, but I'm a nerd. But understanding the basics, understanding the foundation, where it's been, where it started, where it's been, and where it's going. Great. You don't have to sit here and talk about Profo. You don't have to sit here and talk about Pocket. You don't. You don't have to talk about fat caps and the New York fatties but knowing subway trains, knowing at least a little bit. Even if you tell me that I've watched Wild Style, I've watched Star Wars, and all right, you've been places, you've seen it. I could almost put it off to the side, like you said. These dudes are just, it's all about rap, and you look at them sideways. Absolutely, but if they do fuck with the real shit, with the good shit, I can't say real shit. I hate when people say that. With good music, knowing independent underground artists. All right, we can rock, but I understand that my conversation with you is not going to go incredibly deep. We can keep it at music, but that turns on the light in me as a content creator, as a hip hop head, to shed light on what I know and say, all right, you stopped listening in 2000, Pete, all these albums little by little. And I have with the few people at work, I just throw them some shit and, you know, one, two, three, four, five people build from it. Great. But it's those same people that, yeah, they don't mean nothing, but at the same time are crushing what we are doing.
Well, yeah, and that's why the video I have kind of planned about this is kind of strong, and then there's another video I have planned about some of these people as well. It's kind of strong. So yeah, it makes you're right because and that's what pisses me off is that they're not really connected to the real shit. I mean, and their surface level shit, and so I'm not an expert on this. This is a lot of this is from experiences and stuff like that, and then we've done some research. This is just how I grew up, so I'm speaking on it from experience. My point is like some people aren't qualified to talk about this shit, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You and I don't typically speak like this in public forums or anything like that because it sounds arrogant. But some people aren't qualified to speak on this shit, and that's just a fucking fact. You know what I mean? You got sports. Same with sports. Like you know what I mean? There's people that shouldn't be speaking about shit on TV or whatever. Like this, so that's what's bothering me. And because we're in an era of everyone has a platform, everyone has a microphone,
Everybody.
and you can say whatever. But fuck it though. That's why I'm going to say what I'm going to say tomorrow in regards to this, and because the biggest point here, there's two major points. Again, one, you're just talking about rap music. And you're shitting on commercial. You're just talking about commercial rap. So you're shitting on all of the dope artists making music right now. Two, don't even fucking talk to me because there's no way it's a fad because it wouldn't be a culture, and I can shut all that shit down. Yo, but what I want to get into is really getting on my nerves, and
Let's
I
go. Let's go.
have a video about this in my head that I want to do. So in 2016, I was I was urged to like do more with. I started posting videos and just running my mouth a little bit, or not even posting videos. I was just commenting on shit. Hip hop and page started blowing up. and I was encouraged to do something more with it. So I started carrying the culture. But I moved kind of quickly, so I picked the name. I thought it was a catchy name, and I thought it represented what I was trying to do: preserve the traditions and values of hip hop culture while pushing forward, like shit that I thought was dope. But at first, it was really just preserving its in value. So fast forward now to 26, 26 or whatever, and we seem inundated and overwhelmed with and it was with platforms that are carrying the culture, doing this for the culture, do it for the culture, 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 fucking culture. All I hear all the time now is culture, culture, culture. And you and I linked up, and we happen to have similar names for our platforms, which is pretty cool. It was, like save the hip hop culture. But it's become so trendy in to talk about culture in fucking hip hop. I've seen so many people for the culture, bro, for the culture, culture, culture. I want to be like, shut the fuck up, yo. Like, do you even know what this shit means? And and again, they're still only talking about rap music, and it's really irritated me because I almost wouldn't have picked the name for the platform if I thought it was going to become some cliche fucking dick suck name that is fucking that's I don't feel like it has any weight because
Yeah.
everyone's just talking culture, 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 and I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. And again, it's not like I'm the only one that cares about this, but what I'm saying is that name, the name of my brand or whatever it is, platform means something. So it feels like it's diluted and watered down because of all these fucking shitty blogs and pages, and you go to the rap culture, rap. Some of them are hip hop, and some of them are hip hop too. They say hip hop this, hip hop that, hip hop that. But I'm focusing culture, culture. I'm just hearing this culture shit, and again, I feel like it's some trendy shit, and it's got me pissed off. And I got a video in my brain for that because it fucking I want to smack fire out of niggas for saying that shit. So
It's crazy you bring that up because when I started right around the same time, actually, when did I start? 2000. Well, it doesn't matter. Same thing, right? To me, like the word, the terminology, hip hop culture, it was strong to me, right? We were not. That's always been a thing to me. Like, all right, rap music. I had started. So I'll be honest. I had started first. It was fuck the radio movement, and I started out on Facebook, and it didn't take off. And I figured, all right, that's a little strong. The fuck the radio movement, because my thing was like the radio sucks. And then I thought, all right, so something else. Um, and to me was the culture itself is so important to me. Same thing. Everyone's talking about hip hop, but when they say hip hop, they're talking rap only. So I'm like, how do I right? So that's where okay, the hip hop culture. That's kind of like what I was saying. Save the culture from being the rest of the elements from being pushed away and the culture just being rap. So that's kind of what I was saying. And it's funny you say that because I mean, even so that I think I might have started in 2014, but I might be wrong. I don't know. That sounds wrong to me. But let's say 2 or 3 years into the IG page, getting steam and blowing up. Um, I started people like reaching out. They'll do repost for the culture, bro. Repost for the culture, bro. I'm like, to me, I thought I'm like, all right, they're probably just saying it because the culture is in the brand name. But after a while, and till this day, I think same thing with the hip hop is dead thing. I found steam coming back with the culture thing. I had a dude. This was when did the Beat Junkies perform right here? Maybe about last year, if I'm not mistaken. Last year, Beat Junkies were at the Garden Amp. Talking to this dude. If he sees this, he's know who he is. We're talking, and sounded really dope, right? We're talking. Oh yeah, yeah. I used to go to this. I go to this. That. And then all of a sudden, we went from B boy DJ. We're at an all DJ event, and he starts talking about rap music and some of the stuff. J. Cole. I'm like, all right, I don't mess with it, but whatever. We dap each other, right? I say, all right, peace. And I don't know if you've heard this. All right, yo, culture, bones out.
Heard that shit.
Yeah, have you heard that?
Mm.
I was like, what the fuck was that about? This was last year. I'm like, all right. I've heard it maybe once or twice,
Really?
and I'm trying to figure out where. I'm glad it hasn't gotten steam, but I've heard it 3 times since that.
Different people?
Different people.
Really?
Yeah,
I
out here, out
I,
here.
I definitely would have said some shit about that if I. That better not pick up no fucking steam, because we got enough bullshit picking up steam. That's corny.
I bring it up because that's what I was like. Wait a minute. The second time I'm like, that's weird. Third time I heard
Different
it
people.
like,
Different
huh?
people. You
It's
said
different people. Yeah, different people, different parts of town.
and so I'm just out of curiosity is based on like I mean like is it on some Mexican shit or
Nah,
like
nah,
hip hop
nah.
shit?
The first dude I was talking to was Asian. The I can I'll be honest. Second, I don't remember. The last dude I heard say was a black dude.
I don't want to hear none of that shit, yo, because most of the people saying shit like that. I mean, I just feel again, it's just easy. You know, we all it's so easy to jump on something and just be just. I mean, I said it last when my build just now with brother Jay. Everyone dick rides, man. People dick ride slang, they dick ride sayings, they dick ride movements, they dick ride, they dick ride like you know. It's like let's. It just sounds cool, you know. And that's the thing, man. It's like yo, again, this is why I get so hot because this shit is insulting to me, yo. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not like I'm not monetizing the way I want to fucking monetize. I gotta work, yo, or anything. This is a lot of work, man. Like fucking a lot of work
It
to
is. It
like
is.
like we do this because we love it, yo. There's we started it because we love it. You know, our show is not nationally syndicated. It's 3 people in here, so we give a fuck. And so all I'm saying is you're insulting me. You're insulting my intelligence when you say shit like this. And this is why I get so hot. You're insulting the artist, you know, when it comes to the music, when it comes to this culture and shit, you're insulting me. They're insulting you. They're insulting like anybody that we think is really about this shit. They're slapping them in the face. They're shitting all on them, you know. And that's so I have a video kind of and it's gonna be fucked up because it's gonna I can't really worry about what it sounds like. I mean, I can because people don't listen, but I mean,
Yeah.
I just gotta get it to the point. But I'm that shit's got me irritated, you know.
It sucks, bro. That's what that happened to me with which I guess I'm going to ask you a question while I vent here. So again, getting the slap in the face, the insulting type of approach. So to me, um, I was always not always, but I approached it like, all right, you posted a picture of whoever, Percy P, Rockham, Crazy, whatever, right? And a nerd like me, I'm not even saying a nerd like me knows like, yo, that's a Martha Cooper picture,
Mhm.
or that is an Brian Cross picture, or whoever it is,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I mean, Brian Cross is more. You have to be a head to even know that, right? But like, I know that's what it is, right? So I started off saying like, yo, give credit to Ernie, Ernie Panicchioli, right? And then my approach was a little off, and that's how kind of you and I got, right? Because I was always saying, yeah, yeah. But because I was pissed, I'm like, yo, I'm over here doing this research, doing all doing the legwork to ensure one, I I represent the brand name. Two, if people say like, yo, you teach me well, or I'm learning from you. Okay, I'm not just gonna post this and say like, yo, this is so and so in '84. It's yes, it's so and so in '84, but guess what? So and so took the picture. The reason I say that is because that dude, that guy, whatever, took the picture. was really in they almost lost their lives, or they put themselves in the trenches to try to get this to you. At that time, you didn't have paparazzi and shit like that. So the fact that we have this picture, the fact that we have pictures of these flyers, that's huge. So when a dude called vmix, I don't know if you ever came across this page,
It sounds.
which is
Hey,
he tried he so
sounds
he
like
did like
I might have him blocked. Yeah, go
so
ahead.
same here, right? And he actually came. He tried to be fucking sneaky on my shit, but I kept. I wasn't going at him. To me, it was just like, yo, this is whack, because it was a picture. Again, I still rock with Ernie heavy. I purchased some of his prints. I even had Big Daddy Kane sign it. I'm a fan, right? The fact that they're out there doing it, but so he took a picture of Oh, it was Biggie. So Biggie's in a car, right? And I think he's wearing the Averix jacket, and he's in a car. So this VMix guy on some Photoshop shit extends the picture so it looks like the whole picture of the whole car, and he puts Biggie, Pac in the driver's seat, and in the back Kurt Cobain,
Kurt
and
Cobain. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and he posts it. I'm like, all right, why? First of all, why? That's you. But then when I start seeing people repost and saying like, "Yo, this is super dope," who would have known that Biggie and Kurt Cobain? Yo, I'm over here trying to preserve some history, and you got this dude fucking with tampering with historical photos. You what you posted,
Easy E,
bro?
Tony Hawk.
Come on, dude,
Easy
bro.
E.
I've seen he post he, and now this is being sold as a shirt. Easy E sitting down with Betty White. Like
Yeah,
this
so
this is bigger than just the hip hop shit, right? Because you
you're
think
hot.
about you think about historical, right? Genocide. This is a hot topic. I'll keep it simple. Invaders, they call it, yeah, colonizers, they call them explorers, came to this continent and did blah blah blah. Someone puts out a note, a book, and these natives were savages. You put it out. You say a lie long enough, after the years, it becomes the truth. So yes, vmix or anybody else that does this shit posts it, and three people repost. From those three people, 50 people repost, 50 and 100. Then all of a sudden it becomes like, yo, you remember when Easy E sat down with Betty White? Yeah, I'm gonna cop that shirt. Then all of a sudden it's like that happened. The new school, the new kids, they don't know that. They weren't there. We know that never happened. But that's a slap to the face to me, to you, that are trying to right the historically wrong, right? We're out here trying to say like, yo, this and this happened on this day. KRS-One allegedly pushed respectfully, um, PM Dawn off stage, one of the dudes from PM Dawn off stage, or this and that. That shit that's documented. When you come by and say, I'm gonna tamper with this video, or even AI is fucking with that. That's a slap to the face, dude. I had to put that shit and stop it.
Yeah,
So I
so
blocked them. We went back and forth, and
that's why. I mean, that was why earlier on. So here's the thing: you, when you and I linked up, I had posted, I think, one of his pictures. I didn't know,
yeah, yeah.
and so you had the same energy as if I knowingly did it, and more so than like I didn't know, like because I'm a bit naive when it comes to shit sometimes, man. To be honest with you, like it's in some ways I expect people to be at their word. I don't expect people to make fake shit and like put it out there. I don't expect people to steal my designs like they're currently doing right now and put them out. I don't. I do, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't. I'm like that's just foul. Like, why would you do that shit? You know what I'm saying? But so I didn't. So when I would never knowingly do that. There's times when I've been called out for something or like a post, and they're like, "Oh, that's not real," or whatever. I'm like, "Oh shit," you know what I'm saying? Because but my naive brain's like, "Why would people do this shit?" You know what I'm saying? That's fucking corny. So yeah, we had linked. Like you like. it. Hey, I could tell, like, based on your response, that it was something that was like a really hot button issue for you, yo. Like, it was crazy. I was like, damn, this dude getting like, all right, like, I mean, it was just interesting. Like I could tell, like, I was like, this dude's a little fiery right now,
And you
and
know why? You know why though?
mm,
Because I had peeped how you moved. I had peeped. I mean, you were passionate. You're passionate like I was. So, and I wasn't really going at you. I was going at the actual the picture itself and just kind of letting you know. But one, hot topic. Two, I respected how you moved because I know you were about the culture. So that was kind of like, what? Like, yeah. So yeah, that but it's a beautiful thing too, right? Because I can sit here and be like, yo, that dude did this and you posted that. But look, bro, like it's to me, it's a beautiful friendship
oh yeah, it's
that
funny
came out
how
of it.
it worked out, and something I don't know, yo, like something made me like because usually I'm quick to be like say something. I didn't say
I'm
something back,
surprised, dude.
say something back or block. You know, I don't know. I don't know how it how I
Back
don't
to
know
the
how
essence.
I don't know how I reconciled it in my head. I think I might. I don't know, yo, because it was funny because that's typically because I don't recall us having like a heated back and forth about it. So I didn't do that. I mean, I didn't. I mean, like, I don't think it didn't get heated because we wouldn't be
It
fucking.
no, it didn't at all. No,
So so it's just interesting, you know. But but oh, you know what it was, yo? I think it really kind of maybe stopped me was that I respected how you moved too. And so I was like, all right, I was like, this dude's just passionate like me, kind of like I think that was kind of more the mindset I had. I was like, well, the thing is, I agreed with like I hate I like I don't like yo, I don't like ever. I always say never post anything you have to take down. I never. I want my facts to be right, my dates to be right. People come at me like about like hashtags and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So because they want to see me make. So it's like never. I never want to put anything out inaccurate, and if I do put out something that's a parody or AI, I try to say it. I'm like, this is some bullshit. Funny, you know what I'm saying? Or as far as I know, so I wasn't it was like you called a spade a spade. I didn't take it too personal because you were like a, but at the same time, like I was against what you were calling out as well, and I'm like, yeah, that's fuck that. I think I took it down right away because I'm like, yo, I don't ever want to be like posting fake shit or whatever like that, and I got caught up. I didn't know. Then I was like, damn, I gotta check dates about this shit. Like, we were certain with the Kurt Cobain because there's a thing a Kurt Cobain Easy E video picture somehow out there
yeah,
too.
yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, like you know what I'm saying. So but yeah, that stuff matters, man. I mean, all that matters, and that's why again, if you're going back to like the people saying hip hop is dead, or people culture for the culture, or people's or all these blogs that say hip hop in them and pages and say hip hop this, hip hop that, like that shit is a fucking insult. It's an insult, and it's disrespectful to the people that really give a fuck. Not even just people that do what we do, but just people that give a fuck. People that aren't here. The people that aren't here right now, it's disrespectful to them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
I was
yo,
just gonna say that.
like no. So that's why I don't really give a fuck, and that's why I'm kind of leading to the next thing. Not leading, but I'm doing this hater shit. Because I hate a lot of shit. So yeah,
Look, I'll say this, and we can segue to something else, or
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can keep.
what up?
I actually want to ask you something
What
about
up?
what we were talking about the female MCs. I hate saying that, but that's what it is.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
so while I was down, with the surgery, I know, and I keep saying this every time I bring it up. I was out maybe about a month and a half. I learned a lot, and I know a month and a half is not a lot, but I had to be patient. I couldn't do shit. I couldn't pick anything up. I still really, if I close my left eye, I won't see your face right now, right? So it's hard, but I had a lot of discipline, and I'm trying to be more. I'm trying to accept more, and I'm trying to see both sides of the coin. My wife has always been like that, right? I'm the negative one. I'll say like, "Yo, da 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 da," and she'll say, "Well, it's probably because of this," on some
Right,
positive shit, and it irks me. Like, let me just be negative. But in this case, I'm looking at it like this right now, right? The people say hip hop is dead, and you got people posting AI. Blah, blah. Yes, it's maddening. Um, I get mad, and I'll say this and that. You're doing the hate stuff. I know that sounds bad, but you'll shed light on it. But at the same time, it makes me move on some heavier hip hop shit. I move heavier when it comes to hip hop. I'll be more vocal. Um, any chance I get, I'll rock the hip hop, juggernauts all day. I will throw on. I mean, even before this, right? I had the graffiti shit going. I'm gonna be more. It makes me move harder for the hip hop shit and be more hip hop when. I mean, you gotta be professional, right? But at work, it's 100% hip hop. You gonna talk hip
Well,
hop?
I think also, man, like again, because it goes back to us. Chef said it like he's like I live, eat, breathe. It goes back to like this being who we are and a part of our lives, right? And part of how we grew up, and so we take the shit personal. It's like, yo, you're not gonna tread on the shit that I hold dear. Nah, not letting you. And that's how I look at it, yo. Because here's the thing, I didn't expect any of this to happen. As far as like, this is where my me being naive comes in. As a young, as a like a okay, as a 16-year-old, so I'll go to 94, 94, 95. I was 18 years old. By this time, we'll come out and Cuban Links and all that. So even let's go 88 because that's really more like peak music with shit, right? 12 years old, I thought this shit was gonna stay the same forever. I like that's the naive. I didn't think it was gonna. I thought everything was gonna stay the same. I thought even at 16, 17, 18, I saw the sound moving and evolving, but I thought the principles and stuff would stay the same as
The
far as being
same.
being. They are the same, but people start fucking with them. But I thought they were all gonna be like that people would still adhere to the values and principles that we grew up with. That's what I didn't think that any of this shit would change. I didn't think we'd start co-signing the people would start co-signing trash and doing all this weirdo shit. You know what I'm saying? And so that I was really naive, fam. And so I hold this is again this is how I grew up. So what I'm saying is when I hear all this other whack, all this other shit, the stuff that we've been talking about tonight, you're shitting on how I grew up. That's what I'm saying. It's personal. You're shitting on
Mhm.
like the values that I have, and like and like you're shitting on my childhood. You're shit. That this is how personal I take it. You're shitting on me in all sorts of ways, and shitting on the stuff that's like valuable to me as a person. You know what I'm saying? And so, fuck yeah, I'm gonna say something, because because I almost can't believe it. Right, like when I first started hearing trap music, man, like I it blew my mind how like I was like, what the fuck? This is where have I been? Like what? What? When I first I was like, what the fuck is this? So it's for me it's personal. It's really personal, man.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've really been able to actually really vocalize this, man. I didn't really think about it as much. We're talking. It's shitting on how I grew up, man. It's shitting on the things that mean something to me.
It goes. I love what you said because it goes down. When people say like, hip hop raised me, and there's people all walks of life, right? There's people that or yeah, people that'll say like, yo, my mom wasn't around, or my dad wasn't around, or none of them were around, or I was homeless, or even with me, like I have both my parents, right? Um, my bad path was really my friends. I had, even though we weren't crazy poor, but we weren't crazy rich, right? My dad made shit work, hustling. But I can still turn around and say hip hop raised me. Yeah, my parents raised me. I got morals and values from them, but hip hop raised me. I learned a lot of shit from hip hop. Now I'm not talking about just music. I'm talking about hip hop,
Yeah.
right? Principles, like you said, from bro. Like we talked about this. Like no one somehow I can't pinpoint who told me obviously music says back then music said it a lot, but I can't remember specifically who told me like, yo, no biting. Yo, you don't go over a piece, or a throw up goes over a tag, a piece goes over. You're that's just embedded in you. So when you say like when you when said certain things are said, hip hop is dead. Yeah, it's gonna hurt me. It's going to offend me because what you're saying is what embraced me and raised me, like father like, mother like, or whatever it is, hip hop. You're pretty much slapping it down and throwing it on the ground for me.
And you're saying, it goes back to what we were saying. You're saying that it was only a fucking fad.
Fad.
Some shit that I went through, like playing with GI Joes or some shit or something or whatever, or like, you know what I mean, like some shit like that. Or well, I played with them shits for a lot. They're dope, but you know what I'm saying. But it was like it was like a yeah, that it was some fleeting thing and it has no substance and value. So by you saying it's dead means that it was never a culture, and that's fucking false. Like that's false. And so yeah, like and you dilute it, you water it down, you make it into some shit that's no, it's just a he'll grow out of that type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. You're like, yeah, just
He'll,
kind
he'll
of pay
grow out.
no mind.
He'll grow out of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I've actually seen a few people like over the years that like we were kind of in the same circle when we were young, and to talk to them years later, somehow we gotta get in the conversation, and they don't fuck with hip hop and anything rap, nothing. They're like, oh, I kind of. I think someone even said I kind of, I don't say grew out of that, but like, got had kids and like, nah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And like, um, and even when I did go off the grid for a minute, and I came back to what I knew. You know what I'm saying?
Came
And so
back home, bro. Like that's what you know.
yeah, so you know, I think it just again it saying that is a fucking insult all the way around to me. You know what I'm saying? And like it's just so many levels to that is just pure fuckery. It's nonsense. You know what I mean? And it's people just talking just to talk. And so yeah, we have to speak up, man. You know what I mean? Because like I just can't hear that. I just I can't look at me. I can't hear that shit, man, without wanting to fucking snap necks. So, um, you
We
know,
have to, we have to also be right because as content creators, as hip hop heads, as you know, teachers or whatever you want to call us, right? Educators on the hip hop culture. There I go with culture. We also have to be mindful and disciplined on how we react, right? Because like you said, if you see somebody that I used to fuck with or grew up listening to music, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I whether it's I've had people tell me like, oh no, I found I shit you not, I found Jesus. When I said like, yo, what you know, so with the hip hop shit, I found Jesus. No fucking lie, bro. I had this dude give me all his CDs. I found Jesus.
well, I mean, I remember told you I had a similar experience in a way, and sold all my shit to the kid in France. It wasn't Jesus, but 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 it was. It was funny because when you falsely give up something, first of all, when you falsely give up something, like it will always come back. Like if you're not genuinely ready to get rid of it, you know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
of course.
But like I realized later in life how much hip hop was my life. Like you know what I'm saying? After when I went off the grid and then I kind of came back on the grid, I realized like, yo, if this is because I didn't really understand it, because again, this is what we just grew up and just did what we did, right? So I didn't really understand the importance of hip hop all my life as far as like the culture and things go, as far as like what it, how it had molded me and shaped me, uh, it, in some ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, I think it's interesting though, man. You know what I mean? Everyone does what they feel they need to do in their lives. It's just that, what that means though, with that, both the person that talked to you and the person that I talked to, who said he kind of maybe grew out of it, it just means they never really were that in it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And that's okay. Like, that's all it really means, is that they just never, it wasn't as important to them, and they didn't maybe get the, it didn't impact them in the same way that it impacted us. So for
So
them,
and that's
it was a fad. For your,
so okay. So and that's what I was gonna say, right? So we kind of we have to discipline ourselves when we react to it, right? Whether it's saying like, yo, I still mess with it, but I mess with the old school. I can't be like, oh, you're fucking crazy. It's like, all right, that's an opportunity to be like, yo, when I said earlier, post 2000s, check this, check this, check this. Or if like this dude, yeah, I found Jesus. All right, you know what? I used to knock religion hardcore. These days, you saw the gray, right? I'm getting there. Like I understand, like what works for me doesn't work for you, and what works for you doesn't work for me. But if that's going to make you see better, then you know what? I'm all for it. But I understand, and I'm disciplined enough to know, like, all right, so we're still cool because hip hop is not what's keeping us cool like that. It's another friendship. But I know that that was never you. Now, you probably grew up listening to something else in passing. All right, I kind of like this, I kind of like that. Give me your fucking CDs then. So it's just discipline enough to know, like, all right, how am I going to approach you? How I'm going to respond?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. Everybody's different. I mean, like, the people, like that person maybe is probably different than the person, than some talking head on whatever platform, just spewing nonsense.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, we got to, and that's a good point. I mean, you always got to be respectful of people's backgrounds and what they went through, and just again understand that it's not the, their experiences aren't our experiences. Hip hop didn't impact everybody, so, in the same way, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Just don't shit on my shit. How
And
about that?
that's it right there.
You can do whatever you want. Don't shit on my shit. Don't act like this shit that because I still rock my hat like this and this, and don't shit on, don't fuck with me then. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll be the old head. Why don't you act your age? I'm acting my age. I'm about to be a 50-year old.
I like that post you did too
That
about the
post
whole
went viral. It was kind of crazy, yo. Like,
that's so true, G. So true.
and that's one thing I've been realizing. I was like, yo, we're the first generation that grew up in hip hop, so we're gonna look like this. Why would we get to a certain age, all of a sudden start acting, looking different, acting different, talking different, or whatever? Like, this is what we, so this is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, we so I'm gonna be a hip hop grandfather. I mean, I'm not gonna be different. Like, yeah, I dress pretty much the same way I did like 30 fucking years ago. My shit's just a little less baggy. That's pretty. It's it's not really much of a difference, man. You know, I'm most comfortable in jeans, hoodies, and sneakers. Still, I got one suit. Unfortunately, I don't gain a lot of weight or anything like that, and it still fits me. I think I don't dress up. I don't wear. I don't. I have to buy shit just about. Just full disclosure. I have to buy shit when I got to go out somewhere or something, because I don't like shit around my neck. None of that shit. So I'm just saying, like, I'm the same dude, and I've always been like this. I've always hated ties. I've always hated this shit for all my life. I don't fuck with no, you know. So
Yeah, my dad was like, so we had our Christmas party, which I wasn't gonna go to because of the eye shit.
yeah,
Um, and I was talking to him. I'm like, yeah, my manager called me, said like, yeah, you should make it out if you can. So I was like, you know what, I'm feeling, because I was on some depression. Not, I can't say I was depressed, but I was just like, fuck, bro, I can't do anything, right? So finally, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go. I need to get out of the house. And I was talking to my dad when I was like, when I made the decision. He's like, yeah, yeah, come over. I got a suit for you. I got a tie. I'm like, I'm not gonna go to I don't wear a tie fucking to work. I'm gonna wear a tie to a fucking Christmas party. No, G. Like, yeah, no.
yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
obviously, I can't dress like that to work. Um, But it's the same thing with me. Just like the main thing that changed with me is the size of the pants.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. It's pretty much it. I mean, I'm fortunate that I have to my current job. I mean, this is my dress code. I mean, except for I mean, I work for a church, so I can't wear certain shit, but certain shit on the shirts. But I I'm grateful. I mean, and one time my boss saw me out somewhere, or where I think I had it was some function, and I wore some slick shit or whatever, and she's like, I haven't seen this since the interview, and I said, I asked you what the dress code was, and you told me, so I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, yeah. I got the job. I ain't got to do it in winter.
yeah, so, but yeah, man, yeah, it's 11 o'clock. Um, so I'm gonna be addressing those things in a couple of days or whatever. Those are kind of hot button topics for me that just kind of fuck up, man.
Yeah, it's addressing time.
Yeah. So, but we'll get back to I gotta find our notes, but we'll get back to we're still breaking down Woo affiliates, and we're gonna
Well,
finish
we're still
that.
breaking down Wu affiliates. The only person I can remember that we were gonna break down was Timbo King. I can't remember who else was who we did last or whatever.
Yeah, there
But
was a couple pairings that we're gonna do, so I just gotta find my original notes, and I think we can square it away. So we'll be
yeah,
back.
that way we can close it out. Maybe we'll do somebody else. Maybe we'll do another topic. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we can. I mean, we can do. We said we wanted to look at Hyro in depth.
Oh
And,
God,
we said we wanted to look at we said we wanted to look at a few collectives or whatever. You know what I mean? So we can break that. I mean, on that type of shit, we can break down mad groups. I mean, mad collectives and mad. We can break. I mean, it's shit. If we want to fuck
boot camp.
with music labels, we can fuck with everything that came out of like Raucous, Stones Throw, whatever. Like when early jive. I mean, so many. So we could do a lot of different things. We could look at some. Um, yeah, we could look at So
Didn't we ask for assistance from Janine, Chef, and them, and like just to see what they wanted to see, what would they wanted to break down?
I don't know if we did, but Chef just shared Native Tongue, which I think is an outstanding one. To
Native tongue is can go forever.
Yeah,
So yeah, let's finish up the Wu shit and then we'll talk about it again.
yeah, we'll talk about what else.
Janine, happy belated birthday. I just saw that.
Yeah, happy. She says 60, as so I want to get
60
there.
years young.
Look at that. So salute everybody. We'll get this up on the. Well, this is the lives actually go to the YouTube automatically. So, but yeah, we back in action. So
Feels good, brother. Feels good to get back to regular shit, even though I still can't see too well.
that's all right. You can talk. So you know what I'm
You can
saying.
hear me, you can see me, so we're
Yeah,
good.
and I can't tell. So I mean, you can tell, but you need to go slick Rick on the motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I was slick Rick on the
Come
motherfuckers.
with. You need to come with the fucking eye patch, bro. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
funny. I never got the actual patch. I just had the like little cover and I put tape on it. That's how I showed up to the Christmas party. But
Yeah, you need to come with that.
he told me the ophthalmologist told me that you got to take that shit off because your brain and your eyes have to adjust for
Oh, oh, you can't.
perception.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and it took a week, but now like me looking at you right now, yeah, like obviously I can't see this eye, but this eye will take you're kind of fixated now, so it's
Word,
good.
word, word.
We're good,
I'm,
brother.
I'm glad we got the rock, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll do it again next week. Um, yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Chef,
well,
Janine, Mike B, everybody, I appreciate y'all. It's good to be back. Good to talk to you, bro. I mean, we've talked already, but like getting back on this platform is
yeah,
dope.
doing this. I mean, we've been talking some other shit, real shit, but this has been helpful. I mean,
This
because
is this is it's like I've told you, bro. It's therapy.
yeah, this takes to let the hair down, whatever cliche you want to use, you know what I'm saying? So, but word, this was fun. We'll do it again. Episode whatever of the after party. Next week we rock again.
Let's
So,
go.
all right, fam. I'll talk to you. Everybody be good.
Appreciate you, brother. Good night. All right.
You too. Peace.